In Mpumalanga province, under the current leadership of Mandla Ndhlovu, Premier Mandla Ndhlovu, things are from bad to worse. What I loved and respected about Izzy, he carried his dangerous duty without fear and favor or prejudice. A lot of unions in this country, in particular Mpumalanga province, have lost focus. Unions are there to protect fraud and corruption because they jawa as well.
Who called him in the office of the Premier?
The Premier, the former Premier, under serious allegations. The Premier called him. This is what Izzy told me. He said that Ledwaba, I'm under attack.
Yeah, as I was saying, we don't want to get sued.
Yeah, no problem.
Today we have a guest who talks his mind. Very frank. Joel Ledwaba, my brother, welcome.
Thanks for having me, and good afternoon.
Yeah, it's so good to have you. It's just that the problem is that if one speaks to you, matters are depressing. It's always depressing matters.
For sure.
You're not going to enjoy a lot of the discussion. But, well, we've got to talk about these issues. If we don't, who's going to do that?
Absolutely.
Especially in a province like Mpumalanga, where there are a lot of challenges, man.
Absolutely, Lord.
Yeah. So you are an activist. Maybe briefly just explain to us who you are, to the viewers and listeners as well.
Thanks a lot. I am Pompie Joel Ledwaba, the leader of Mashishing Civic Coalition, and we are now changing ourselves into Mpumalanga Civic Coalition because of popular demand. I regard my job as a calling meant to fight for the poor of the poorest, the voiceless and the downtrodden generals of our masses, the marginalized.
Yeah.
That is the responsibility bestowed on me by God Almighty and nothing else. I thank you.
Thanks for coming here. Before we go to the main issue, actually, the main issue we're going to talk about is the killing, the assassination of the Integrity Management Unit head in 2013.
2023.
2023
September.
So I'm getting old. Yeah, that was there. But before then, I would like us just for you to update us and clarify a certain issue. You've been outspoken a bit. We've all been about political killings in general in Mpumalanga.
For sure.
So when situations are tense like that, the tongue tends to slip sometimes. I remember you had an issue with the former Deputy President, David Mabuza. You spoke publicly about certain issues. Please do not repeat because of the court case and what happened. But can you update to us? Are you getting along well? Did you apologize?
I believe that the former Deputy President, His Excellency David Didi Mabuza, was a man of the people. We are all longing for his old days. We believe now we are certain that he was an excellent leader, a leader with an excellent listening skill, a leader who will openly debate issues with people, and a leader who was prepared to agree to disagree with all his political opponents. Today in Mpumalanga, we are all longing for the beautiful days of His Excellency, the former Deputy President Didi Mabuza, precisely because things are getting things are moving or are no longer bad, but they're from bad to worse. In Mpumalanga province, under the current leadership of Mandla Ndhlovu, Premier Mandla Ndhlovu, things are from bad to worse. It's no longer bad, it's no longer worse, it is horrible.
Yeah, people will be asking themselves, you were on national platforms, TV, newspapers, talking really badly about David Mabuza. People are going to ask what has changed now. You singing lyrical about him.
I've been making an assessment in my researches, and I found that Mpumalanga is now a den of fraud and corruption. And then I've been making assessment and researches with my team, with my people, that I saw elite intellectuals of this province, and they feel that we are now in Mpumalanga, a province of general hopelessness. Mpumalanga, a province of general lawlessness, where people are making cover-up of their friends. So the rule of law, order, and discipline has completely collapsed. Let's not talk about consequence management, because consequence management, Mr. and Mrs. Consequence Management were buried as long ago. But
what I was trying to ask was, what has changed? Are you saying you were wrong about everything that you said about David Mabuza before, the way the province was run? Were you wrong? And
no,
now,
I feel that during his tenure, life was much better.
Okay.
During this tenure, people were made to account. Right now, under the current premier of the province, Mandla Ndhlovu, people are thugs, criminals, masquerading as ANC people, account to themselves but not to the public. We are in the situation whereby criminals in Mpumalanga province appoint themselves to investigate themselves. We are in that painful era. That's why I say we are now in an era of general hopelessness and general lawlessness. And over and above, tribalism has been now openly, deeply entrenched. It is now the order of the day.
Okay. We will come to that. Let us not digress a bit much from the topic of the day, but obviously we're going to come to that towards the end of the conversation.
Sure.
And because it's a matter that you're bringing up now. I haven't had the courtesy of, but also I'll speak to whoever you're making allegations against. They will be given a chance to respond for themselves. Let me make that commitment.
Though you'll be talking to them, there is no answer. Everybody can see. Even Nelspruit, the capital city of the province, the roads are dilapidated. There is garbage everywhere. The town is stinking. Potholes. There is no road in Mpumalanga without potholes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, lights, robots are not working. Everything. Your town of Mbombela, literally speaking, is stinking. There is smell everywhere. You ask yourself, where is the leadership? During the days of His Excellency, the Deputy President of the country, His Excellency Ntate Didi Mabuza, the town was shining, my brother. The town was beautiful. You could feel that this was a capital city of the province. But those days are gone.
No, let us move. I think issues of lack of service delivery,
it's bad.
Partly they are caused by not lack of budgets, but by corruption. Some of these services, there's budget for them.
Mpumalanga province.
But the money end up in the wrong hands. But now I want us to go to our topic here.
Yes.
Izzy Machaba was leading the integrity management unit in the Premier's office. At the time, he was shot in 2023.
September.
Yeah, September. You are his friend. You were close to him. That's why I brought you here.
Sure.
Because it's one of those cases where, it's not getting the profile it should get. And it's actually a very serious matter. Because of the suspicions that he could have been the reason for his killing, could be attributed to the line of work he was doing. His responsibility was to investigate corruption in every department, more like the Doge of Elon Musk in the US. That's that kind of a thing.
For sure.
If he's still there. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about him. What do you know about his death, Izzy Machaba's death?
My brother, I'm very fortunate that bestowed by God this dangerous job of speaking for the poor of the poorest and rectifying and exposing the demon of unbridled greed that has engulfed this country, in particular Mpumalanga province. There are a lot of people that are reporting to me as the leader of Mpumalanga Mashishing and Mpumalanga Civic Coalition. There are members of all political parties that they report to me because they feel that reporting such issues to me is the right thing to do. I was a friend to Izzy Machaba precisely because I'm firm and fearless in speaking truth to power. I don't mince my word. And then when this guy, he was not only shot, let's tell the country.
Okay.
Izzy Machaba as an integrity unit manager.
Yeah.
He was assigned with the noble responsibility of investigating gross financial misconduct in all departments of Mpumalanga province. That was his responsibility. And what I loved and respected about Izzy, he carried his dangerous duty without fear and favor or prejudice. And what I love about Izzy Machaba, he was never persuaded. You never persuade him to sweep issues under the carpet. Yeah. And along his line of duty, he uncovered a lot of things, even in the office of the Premier by then. Not when I say in the office of the Premier, I don't talk about Premier Refilom Msweni. His personnel, that office,
yes,
people were allocating amongst themselves bogus bursaries.
Okay.
They allocated bogus bursaries amounting to millions and millions of rands amongst themselves. Number one. Number two, there was a massive embezzlement of funds. People were embezzling the youth funds. Officials in the legislature, the youth fund.
The youth fund.
Yes.
The one that for youth to start businesses.
Exactly.
What do they call it?
The youth fund. So these people, what they did was they allocated the youth fund amongst themselves. So it was a merry-go-round of embezzling those youth fund. This is what Izzy Machaba was annoyed him, and he was aggressively dealing with such a misdemeanor. Only to find that because he was doing the right thing.
So he was investigating the youth fund,
yes,
right?
And bogus bursaries. And then other misdemeanor in other departments within the legislature here.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Oh, I see. But did you, when you spoke to him, was there a particular matter that he isolated and said, look,
no,
I think because
I know he told me about people behind this, and he told me about death threats that he was experiencing. And Izzy Machaba told me about being terribly victimized in his workplace. And then he told me about the union in the Mpumalanga legislature called Nehau.
Okay.
That was central to his victimization. And then...
so he was being victimized for the investigations he was
doing his work and exposing crooks and thugs that were playing merry-go-round with the public purse.
So if the youth development fund was on his radar, it's a one back then. Back then in 2023, that whole budget was 140 million.
Yes.
Of that youth fund. I don't know much.
Right.
It's probably higher now.
Yes.
Yeah. So he was investigating that.
He was investigating that. You know, more worrisome. People were playing merry-go-round, were playing this so-called black mampatile with our money. You understand? They were allocating those funds amongst themselves. They were doing amongst themselves. They were sharing the spoils of the fund amongst themselves. No. And this is what Izzy uncovered.
You mean the officials themselves or companies?
No, officials themselves.
Yeah, like taking directly.
Yes, some of them are within the office, where by then in the office of the former premier, Refilwe Mthweni. Yeah, and let me tell you something. Let me talk about serious allegations. Note it in brackets, serious allegations. But let me tell you something very painful. He was even called by the office of the premier and reprimanded that he must stop his nonsense.
Who called him in the office of the premier?
The premier, the former premier, under serious allegations. The premier called him. This is what Izzy told me. He said, Ndhlovu, I'm under attack. Ndhlovu, I feel that my life is in danger. Ndhlovu, I'm being victimized. Pompie Joel Ledwaba, please, I know that my days on earth are numbered because of doing the right thing. Ndhlovu, you know, he was prophetic to his life. He said, this you must tell the nation about me. No one else will tell the nation about my plight. I'm not talking about Refilwe Mthweni per se as a human being. Yes. I'm talking to Refilwe Mthweni as a public figure, because public figures, they account to us. Yes, we have got the responsibility that public figures must give us answers to our questions.
Yeah, but according to what you're saying is, when he got the call from the former premier, what was he? What did she tell him to stop?
He was ordered to stop the rubbish. This was
which rubbish was there? Anything specific?
Investigating these things and giving the province bad publicity.
Oh, okay. So it was basically a general comment on
everything. It was not a comment. It was a direct order. It was a direct instruction.
Okay. And then what did he do?
He continued, because a soldier dies with his boots on. He continued investigating. Okay. And guess what? You know, a lot of unions have lost focus.
Yeah.
A lot of unions in this country, in particular Mpumalanga province, have lost focus. Unions are there to protect fraud and corruption because they jawa as well.
Yeah, no, hold it there. The issue of the union, we're gonna come back to it immediately after this. I want you to make us understand how, when he died, Izzy. How did he die? Where was he going? Was he being followed? You know the story.
Yes, I know very well. He told me I used to visit him at his place. Yeah. That's why I was a keynote speaker at his memorial. He's there in the pamphlet. Yeah. What transpired with Izzy? People followed him from Nelspruit till in Secunda.
Okay.
And then he complained to me that he's being followed and others who are many. Some are afraid because they're engulfed by a demon of fear and victimization. And then when he was in Secunda, the same people followed him into Pretoria. The rationale of shooting Izzy Machaba in Pretoria, you know what?
Yeah.
They thought they are erasing the footprints. Okay. They thought they're killing the mark. They thought they would say it is theft. There's no theft. He complained even his brother, the younger brother to Izzy Machaba. He was there. He told us that he told those mourners. Yeah, my brother called us and complained about being followed.
Being followed on that particular day.
Exactly. Was shot. Look what. Izzy Machaba died like an animal. He was killed like an animal. And he was killed for protecting the public purse. Guess what?
He was shot how
many
times?
He was shot 27 times. Maybe you don't. Let's agree.
Yeah.
He was shot 27 times. Even an animal, you cannot shoot it 27 times.
Sure.
Even an animal, you can not shoot an animal. They made it a point that he must die on the spot.
So that
God is great.
That shows us people who really wanted to see him dead. And it tells us that it was not an accident. It was not
the power of God Almighty. He lived to tell a story. He lived to narrate his story, the evidence. He lived to say, this is what you must tell the nation. When we all visited him, in particular my principal self, Izzy Machaba was able to say, Mpumalanga Ledwaba, I was shot for this and this and that. And Mpumalanga Ledwaba, when he was lying on the ground, those habitual criminals that took an innocent, defenseless life, they said, say file lenja. He called people and then they said, fonela la machita, guti inja say file, balugu say iskwacha setu. And then when the criminals, habitual criminals were speaking, they mentioned names of people, 2 people.
Okay.
They mentioned names of 2 people inside the office of the Premier. Refila is innocent. I want to be honest. Refila, her name was never mentioned. Yeah, so please, we don't.
Oh, so as he was lying down, he had not died. And then they started talking, phoning people, demanding their pay.
Let me be honest.
Okay, he died in hospital.
No. After being shot 27 times, he died in his house here in Nelspruit.
Oh, okay.
And then after the shooting, by the power of God Almighty, he lived another extra 3 months to tell the truth.
Okay.
He lived for another 3 months. He was fluent, but he was struck with pain. You understand?
Okay.
He was intelligent. He was a university graduate with many degrees. He eloquently narrated his story to all of us. There are many, I can name them. It's just some are afraid to talk. Because we know that in Mpumalanga, when you talk the truth, you get victimized. In Mpumalanga province, when you get duty, you must be killed. I won't be surprised if police will be ordered that Ledwaba is staying in Mashishini. Please, Mumelele Esabi, and finish him off. You understand?
Yeah, you know, you've been talking a lot, actually. I'm happy you didn't mention people's names, otherwise we don't want to get lost letters. You know, people suing us and suing you in particular. They won't sue me because I'm just giving you a platform, you know, to talk. But it's an important matter. You were talking about the union was part of his victimization. These are the people who are supposed to protect him.
Sure. Let me tell you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling the people of Mpumalanga the truth. I'm telling the country the truth. And please, I'm telling His Excellency, the State President of the Republic of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, the truth.
Yeah.
Let the country know the truth. And I, His Excellency Pompie Joel Ledwaba, will speak the truth, and the truth will set me free.
Yeah.
The people the second culprits, the second group of culprits that victimized Izzy Machaba was Nihao.
How so?
Yes, Nihao, it's a union that was meant to protect Izzy Machaba.
Yeah.
And then how dare on earth your own union sells you to the enemy? Simple as ABC. Let he who alleges must prove beyond reasonable doubt. Here is the evidence. This is a letter. These are letters from Nihao. Yeah. One, given to me by Izzy Machaba. Number two, this is a signature. This is a signature of the Secretary of Nihao here in the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature.
The branch secretary.
Instructing the authorities that Izzy is too much for his boots. Izzy is making life unbearable to them. And then they were even saying, remove Izzy Machaba from his position. Demote him. And if needs be, expel him. He must be expelled from work.
Okay.
We'll support this thing.
But when I look at this this copy you've given me of the Nihao letter directed to the former Director General of Mpumalanga Province, Mr. Mampuru, dated the 17th of August 2023. There are reasons they asking for a redeployment of Mr. Mashaba. Reasons they are giving is that he is appointed an official who does not hold qualifications. I'm just going to summarize. Mashaba communicates directly to junior officials, allocates work, and he basically
false stories. These are false. Evil.
Okay. Here's another one. He accused the secretary of not coming to work, including not submitting leave applications. He allegedly moved 2 officials into security management section. This basically, you know, those general accusations between senior and the junior and all of that, basically saying he is abusing his power and all of that. Do you think these were the genuine reasons, were part of the genuine reasons, or it was just a decoy of sorts?
I deny and condemn this false accusation in the most strongest possible terms. These are false, evil, concocted stories about Izzy Machaba. This did not apply, and number one. Number two, what type of a union? Tell me what type of a union is now a union that sells its own members to the employer or to the enemy. Let's agree. The duty of the union is to protect. And if you feel that one of your members have gone overboard, you have got the right to talk to him in good faith. Here,
but somebody may argue that the union is protecting the junior officials that he is allegedly
he's not protecting
mistreating.
No. The union is not
if
protecting.
you look at the allegations here.
Let me correct this later.
Yeah.
The union is not protecting junior officials. The union is protecting criminals, thugs in the provincial legislature that were no longer stealing our money but looting. You know, in Mpumalanga province, people no longer steal. They just bring a wheelbarrow and they pile the wheelbarrow with our money and they go.
No. I understand what you are saying, but I'm trying to zoom into reasons that were given by the union demanding Mashaba to be redeployed, to be removed from the integrity management unit position. What they are citing here is, his relationship with his juniors. Those are the reasons they say they are giving to the former DG that he must be removed for.
What a joke.
So you are saying these allegations were neither here nor there.
These allegations are false and evil concocted stories against Izzy Machaba. He was principled one. Izzy had this, he was human. Izzy was full of respect. Number two, he knew how to talk to people. He knew and understand that as a leader, he must talk with his people with dignity and respect. I know people were inflating prices. I know that people were writing false kilometers. You find somebody has traveled, let's say 35. Somebody will come and say he has traveled more than 750 kilometers. People went to an extent of forging his signature. You understand? And then Izzy will come and say, this is wrong. Why did you do this? Please stop it. Some of the people, Izzy told me, he'll reprimand them. He'll strongly reprimand them, but with dignity and respect. So that Izzy was arrogant, it's a lie. That Izzy was victimizing juniors, it's a lie. That Izzy was brutal, it's green lies. And then look, no, absolutely. And then again, if a union feels otherwise about the member, they've got the right to say, Baba, come here. And they talk good with you. They address their issues or concern with you in the most appropriate manner. That was never done. But if a union runs and said, no, this and this and that, you could even see here the union were trying to make the so-called comprehensive carve-up because people were chowing. And even till today, people are still chowing. And even today, people will never stop chowering.
Very, very interesting. I wonder what will the union say. We're going to give them a chance. How?
Which union are you talking about?
How?
A union is supposed to be principled. A union must be orderly. A union must be a foundation of order and discipline. Yeah. But if you are a union, you encourage a demon of fraud and corruption, the demon of stealing, and those who are trying to expose you, you victimize them. You are no longer a union, but something else. So to be honest, I know issues. I've got letters, not even of Izzy Machaba. Some of them are still alive. Where they anyhow will write, demote this, demote this, demote this. Here, if you want me to talk next time about people's names, call me. Here I'm talking about a man who has been shot shamelessly so 27 times for saying you're not stealing, but you are now taking. Please respect the public purse.
Yeah, true. You know, I at some point after this incident, as I was doing this story, I spoke to his predecessor. It was Welcome Kona. Just getting a feel, trying to get a feel of what it's like working in that office as the main internal forensic investigator in government, investigating everybody, all the departments under different politicians and so on. And he said, yeah, you get threats. It's never easy.
True.
You get threats, you get approached to drop this investigation, you even get approached to sway investigations, create accusations, false that are not even there, and conclude a report that basically finds
no one guilty.
No one guilty or implicate somebody who's not implicated. Those kinds of things. He said you get approached to do such things. You get threats. Exactly.
In short, Baba, let me be honest with you. Criminals and thugs have hijacked our government. Criminals and thugs in Mpumalanga have not only hijacked the provincial legislature, have hijacked even our municipalities.
Of course.
Yeah.
And
criminals and thugs are, look, let me be honest, a practical example. I'm told that Nkomazi municipality, as we speak of now, it's bankrupt. And then I've been in Nkomazi municipality talking to the people, and people whispered into my ears that this municipality is colored because of so and so, because they give us irregular instruction that you must promote this one, you must, if such tenders must release such tenders, and when you release this, put an advert, but already allocate these tenders to such and such and so much. In fact, officials, CFOs, municipal managers, and executive mayors, just in Mpumalanga, 90% of them are just political pumpkins, and 90% of the CFOs and municipal managers are just political, pumpkin type of administrators. Why? They're just there to attach signatures. They're not the one who are in charge and running municipalities. They are political evil bastards behind their back, issuing irregular instruction. What happened in Mpumalanga, in Nkomazi? It's a shame. And then it pains me that everyone is dead silent. Let's tell the people that the workers, the employees of the hard-working and deserving employees of Mpumalanga Nkomazi municipality did not get their pay on the 25th. Those who received their pay were so lucky because they received half of their pays.
No, that is true.
Yes.
That is true. But now, what do you think should happen? Obviously, you shot into the spotlight because people within government are afraid to talk, to tell the truth. So they said, okay, let us throw Pompie Ledwaba under the bus. We're going to inform him about these things. He's going to go to the public and talk about them because he's fearless, unlike us. But what do you think should be done to encourage the culture of civil servants being able to speak out freely about any wrongdoing that they identify wherever they are working? what needs to be done? Because now the burden is on you. Everybody's telling you, you know a lot, actually.
Absolutely.
And everybody is coming to you with all this. It means there's a problem now. A problem of people are not free speech. People are not free to talk. It may seem that people are not even protected by law to blow the whistle in their workplace. It means those systems are not working. They are there, but it means they are not working. They are not favoring whistleblowers. I mean, not only here, even in Gauteng, we have heard about was it an accountant? A forensic investigator? Yes. In every province, almost in every municipality, all over the country, similar stories of like Izzy Machaba, people getting killed. Those who are lucky, they survive, they resign and everything. But it seems there is a gap. Well, have you thought about it? What needs to happen so that civil servants are free to raise issues? Blow the whistle.
Number one, Tate, Baba, we need to protect our whistleblowers. I know.
Yourself, are you protected? You always blow the whistle all the time.
Absolutely, I'm still going to blow the whistle. I'm blowing the whistle and I'm still going to blow and I'll never stop.
But are you protected?
This is, it is extremely confidential.
Okay.
It is extremely confidential. But let somebody try me. It is extremely good, but let somebody try me.
Okay. I'm asking that.
When somebody wants to meet his ancestors, let him try me.
No, I'm asking that out of worry because you always raise issues every now and then.
Let somebody try me.
Okay.
They'll prematurely meet their ancestors.
Okay, you may continue on that point.
Baba, with dignity and respect, number one, whistleblowers must be protected. And from victimization, not only death, but victimization, number one. And number two, the people of this country are sick and tired of rhetorics. The people of South Africa are sick and tired of long, empty speeches that are terribly meaningless. That are people of South Africa. They know that they are sick and tired of good English. You know, it reminded me of Doleza when he said, good English does not win games. You understand? People are sick and tired of games. People need action. There are people who are unemployed today because of doing the right thing. There are people today who are university graduates, who are technical graduates, who are TVET graduates, because they are firm and they respect the rule of law. Today, those people are outcasts. You know, there's one thing for sure. Even, let me tell you something. I want to tell you something. These thugs and political thugs, they've gone even into the mines. LED, local economic development, is just a very immoral department of all the municipalities. You know what? Mines these days have got a bad habit. You know, some of the criminals in this country, that was said by Blade Nzimande, and that was said by my favorable, the man I love and respect, Solima Paida. And that was said by the man that I respect, Khalima Muntlat. Let me be honest. Minds have developed a tendency of... minds have developed an evil tendency. They employ through the LED. And then even in the private sector, it's happening. When there are posts in the mines, all the mines, I'm talking about even Mashishin Ladybag, they tell them that we need so many posts or there are so many vacancies.
They tell the LED office.
Tell the LED office. And what is the LED do this? Let the country know that. I'm talking to Khalima Muntlat, I'm talking to Tshisira Maposa, I'm talking to the Matthew Pausa of this country. I'm talking to Joel Netitende of this country. I'm talking for people with conscience, people who have got the love and respect of their country. They tell them, here are 50 vacancies. Please get at this thing. What they do, 90% of the MEC people in the cabinet, they are thugs. You know what? They're marauding in municipalities. Now they're marauding in private sector. And then with that, and then the LED will take that to what? To where? They take to the MEC or to the politicians. Because most of the MECs, they are members of the region. The region will decide, le yami, le yagupi, mfaka stroba some of this thing. That's why we have got an unemployment pool of unemployed graduates, unemployed technical graduates, unemployed TVET graduates. Because come to Mashishini. With our TVET college, you ask a question. We've got 1,200 kids who passed from TVET College of Mashishin, the college yes. None of them in the 3-4 year tenure of that, not even a single child was employed there. You understand? They don't even mind going to the Bundus and villages to get their own relatives at the expense of the taxpayers' residents. So, number 2. Number 3, my brother, the death of the demise or the death of consequence management is the root cause of this evil. People steal.
And nothing is done.
With impunity. People allocate municipal tenders with impunity. You find one person or in a municipality like Tabachwe, you find one person in charge of 15 tenders at the expense of a pool of unemployed people. It's happening in Tabachwe municipality. Same faces, same people, day in, day out. Same faces, same people, year in, year out. So the demise, the death, the painful death of consequence management has led to people stealing with impunity. Meaning, impunity, let the country know, is people stealing without any fear of being arrested and without any fear of being prosecuted. Let me tell you something. The current administration has created a demon of general lawlessness and general openness. Let me tell you what Kgalema Motlanthe said. The former state president, Kgalema Motlanthe, the man that I love so much, said, conscience, I'm talking about conscience. He said, conscience is what separates human beings from the animal kingdom. If you are a human being without conscience, without introspection, without saying this is right, this is wrong, and I'm doing wrong thing, I must stop. You must know that such a person must know that is an animal. And we've got such people that are proud of destroying lives. We are said this, look, in this province, and in particular Mpumalanga, service delivery is completely collapsed. Sewer everywhere, spillage is everywhere, potholes everywhere, because money goes to the 90% of the people of the regions, officials of the regions. Money goes to the MEC, and once they now allocate this, they give it to their kids, boyfriends. I know one child, his mother is a MEC, one child, his father is an MEC. Even though I'm a school-going kid, there are very few people, even private sector managers, they don't have money like me. I've got money like dust.
Is it?
Yes.
That kid is saying it publicly.
No, public. God, you can go to Mashishin and interview people, this thing. There are people who are a law unto themselves. There are people that are not afraid of the rule of these things, that are not afraid of law. You ask yourself that, what legacy are they leaving behind? My brother, it's painful. We are led by heartless people.
Okay. You've been an activist in this province in particular, Mpumalanga, for a long time. From whatever time back,
more than 20 years now.
Up to now, or more than 20 years. Exactly. You're in a good position to tell me. All these things you're talking about, when did they start becoming worse?
In Mpumalanga province, I believe that under the current Premier Mandla Ndhlovu, I don't talk about him failing to read a speech in the Granny Awards or firing his what. That is not my point. But the rule of law, I'm talking about Mandla Ndhlovu, the Premier, is the worst Premier that we have ever had in Mpumalanga province.
So is everything, the rot you're talking about, starting now? Or it started a long time ago? It's continuing? I'm trying to understand.
No, let me tell you something. With the current Premier, things are worse. ANC people, look, whether you love it or not, my civil society organization under my leadership as His Excellency Pompie Joel Ledwaba, I am the parliament. My organization, civil organization, is a parliament of the people. For the people, by the people. When they see a lot of people, report matters of this province. I'm telling you, high profile, I'm talking about managers, I'm talking about HR, I'm talking about the who's who of this country. Because let me tell you something. In our chapter 2 of the Bill of Rights says, people will have the right to subject the government of the day to something beautiful called destructive criticism. Is there. When you make, constructive criticism. When you do when you subject a government to constructive criticism, it's allowed in the chapter 2 Bill of Rights.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And then the government, again, the Bill of Rights, chapter 2 of the Bill of Rights, go and check it, peruse it. It says, you shall join an organization of your own choice and associate yourself with whom you want to associate yourself with. Man, let me be honest with you. By mere correcting the obvious, people are being persecuted. You understand? By this thing, when the current Premier, it was bad with Refilum Trade. Mara, right now it is worse with the current Premier Mandla Ndhlovu.
How were things like with Didi Mabuza before him? There was Makwetla. You've been here long enough.
I said with Didi, he was able to make people to account. He was able to call people into order. Okay. You know, let me give you an example. Do you know the story of the MEC for education for 91,000 rands laptop?
Yeah.
Do you know that story in Mpumalanga province?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. That was a publicity stunt. It's a pure publicity stunt. Everybody in Mpumalanga province, 90% of the people in Mpumalanga, in the legislature, 90% of the people in the cabinet of Premier Mandla Ndhlovu are thugs.
Why?
They do. I know these things. I can tell you that this thing is this thing. Come one day. Let's make it.
Have the evidence? Day. Yeah, because I would like us to talk about concrete evidence.
No, is there
than to make spurious allegations?
Look, tenders. Let me give you an example. In Tabachu, tenders are being allocated by the MECs. Who to employ, not employ, are being ordered by these crooks. You understand? Who to frustrate? I did this thing. At times, let me tell you, so in Mashishing, they are high-profile ANC because there are bars, there are puppets, there are big mouses of this thing. You find a person owing residential, owing money to the municipality over 100,000 rands. And yet that particular person is getting tenders of 10 million rands, but he does not pay what is due to the municipality. You understand? They no longer loot. They loot and burn the same bread. They loot and burn the same pipe.
Yeah. Can you promise me that you're going to come back with concrete evidence?
I can still come. I can do it even tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm forever ready for my people. Look, what the leadership did, more especially the ANC in Mpumalanga, has suppressed the people. You can kill a person, but you never kill an idea. You can go and ask the people about that. And then what they did, they stifled the opinions of people on their governments of the day. Number 4, what they did, they've engulfed the people of Mpumalanga province. They've engulfed the people of Mpumalanga province with a demon of fear. You know, in Mashishi, let me tell you something. Once you're an AC member, you attend a funeral of a person from an EFF member or DA. You get expelled from work, but you are saying, sir. Hey. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard ANC member, you don't have to greet a person from EFF. If you are a die-hard ANC member, look, demons are running the show, and that must be stopped. We must nip the cigar by the butt. And it will be stopped by me and you. It will be stopped by the collective. Time has come. The country is becoming another Nigeria. South Africa is becoming another Mozambique. South Africa is becoming another unexplainable animal that feeds on killing its people. So that must be stopped.
I do understand you, and I do agree with you on most of the points. I mean, we have to stop corruption. I mean, the resources of the country have got to work for everybody, not for a few.
It works for a few. The few connected. The connected, all right. Okay. The connected few.
Yeah, exactly. When we were beginning, I think I didn't get a clear answer here. Just to take you back, you don't have to report things that are going to take you back to court. But I wanted just to get a conclusion on your matters with the public matters you raised about Didi Mabuza, political killings. I think it took you to court. Was it him alone? I can't remember. But there was that case where
they sued me. They were sued me 100 million.
Yeah. What happened? I know the case went to court.
I was at loggerheads.
Yes.
With His Excellency and some Tlhabela regions guys and many, only to find out after a comprehensive research, investigation, thing that. Let me be honest, I still pray. And 90%, I'm talking about 90% of the people of Mpumalanga province, we're longing for the beautiful days of Didi Mabuza. 1. Number 2, 90% of this country, it's now our fervent prayer to God Almighty that one day, let God help the man emerge and become the president of the country. Look, when the former president left as a premier in this province, it was Mpumalanga province was the so-called the shining star of this country. You know, you talk about roads, you talk about the garbages that you see, you talk about drainage. I saw right now there is a law that is being debated in Parliament that municipal managers and executive mayors must be physically be responsible for the spillage because they don't do the work. Yeah. They know that when they get fined, it's the municipality that's going to happen. Yeah. It says this thing. You know what? This thing. People don't have respect for our money. Yeah, people don't. With a lot of people, including Taracho, including Komas. Komas is broke. There are a lot of municipalities are broke. Let me tell you something. Tell Velinkosi Tlabisa. Tell Velinkosi Tlabisa that municipalities are the victims of their regions precisely because they issue them with irregular directives. Again, tell Velinkosi Tlabisa, you know what they do? When you refuse to carry an order, they give all the caucus or their supporters, you find 70% or 80% are ANC councillors. They issue them that go and pass a no vote, or organize a no vote of no confidence against the executive mayor. It happened. Yeah. And then in Comas, you still remember it happened. Yeah. And then again, you know what they do? Or they will say, we're writing a letter to the province. We want to recall this woman or this man because he's incompetent. That's what they do. So these people, they carry unlawful, irregular instruction, knowing that, and let me tell me something. When thugs, political thugs give you an order to loot, they don't do that in writing. And they don't call you because you record them. You are being physically it's facts.
You're told verbally. Instructions are given verbally.
Where is Mr. Possible? They call you verbally and give you an instruction. And before you get in the office, they use these things of this searching equipment. You understand? Yeah. That you don't have a cell phone. Municipal managers, CFO, chief financial officers, executive mayor. They have been subjected to such a treatment. You get bodily searched to find out that no, surely, this person, there is no a device. And they give you an order. You must go and kill God. We don't know that. Show us in writing. Give us that irregular or unlawful instruction that you claim to have received from us in writing. Show the world in black and white. That's what they do. You understand? But to be honest.
But we can say, as you were saying, that people are doing the wrong with impunity.
Yes.
From what we are saying, it gives me an idea that it is very difficult to nail a politician to anything because a politician does not sign.
They've mastered the art of thieving. They mastered the art of looting. They mastered the art of stealing the public purse. They mastered the art of manipulating things.
But I've asked you this question before. What should that HOD municipal manager do if he's told to do something that is wrong and it is his or her signature that is going to be there on that document? What does that person need to do?
People like your good self and my good self, and I was so pleased the other day you interviewed one gentleman in Mpumalanga. They call him Majestic Jacks Mudipani. There are very few people, and you interviewed one lady in Secunda about the oil pollution and another guy in Secunda for this thing. Let me be honest. There are very few people like you and me. You know what is the reason? We've been called and anointed by God to speak for the poorest of the poor, for the voiceless. There are people who are being subjected to an inhuman environment. Their only thing is as long as ngibeka isinkwa sebantwana. You understand? There are people that if you say undress yourself and stretch your legs, they will definitely do that. Because let me be honest with you. In our minds, let me show you something I swear by God Almighty. In our private sector, the minds, 80% of them before they employ you, but vulatinya ikala ngukwenze 1, 2, 3.
That's sad.
Yes. Basho kumuntu fast. 80% of women that are working in private sector babuyana. Asimanga is true, and it is now an acceptable culture, of which is wrong. You understand? You know, we are living in an environment where people see wrong things, where people see abomination as a way of life. That must be corrected. Somebody like Mandela must say no. Somebody like Steve Bigos must say no. Somebody like Mpumalanga must say no. Somebody like Principal Joel Ledwaba must say no. Or else we perish together. But believe you me, if you see wrong things, you don't talk. You must know that you are an accomplice, you are an equal sinner, you are a friend in crime.
Because it seems we've got a lot of problems to deal with.
Absolutely.
They are not only government corruption, but the
private sector as well.
The private sector, they even also link to us as individuals, you know, on morals. It's good. It's good that maybe people have got somebody like you to sort of carry the burden and, you know, shout about all these problems. But now people have been asking, since the time I've known you, I was not able to ask you this question for a long time. They are saying, Pompie, there must be somebody behind him. He can't be talking like this. There must be powerful people behind him. What drives you, man?
No, it's a calling, Baba one, number one. It's a calling one. And number two, I believe that even though we deviated from God's will, man was created, all human beings, all people were created in the image and the likelihood of God. Number three, I believe that everybody deserves to have a better life. Everybody deserves to have a decent job. Everybody deserves to have a decent meal on the table. Everybody deserves to be a very blessed human being. No one must be subjected to the demon of poverty. And no one must be subjected to demon of unemployment. And we need equal opportunities for all, not for the children of politicians, not for the families of the people of the region, not for the families, girlfriends and boyfriends of MEC. It's wrong. We all deserve, all of us, we deserve a better life, including your good self. You understand? We have created a dangerous narrative that only though the connected few deserve a better life and the rest must pick up crumbs. It's nonsense. It's pure rubbish, a rubbish that must be stopped without any fear or prejudice.
Yeah, of course. Okay. No, I'd like to believe we've had enough. We've spoken enough about the topic at hand. There are still more issues to discuss with you in the future. Hopefully you will make time to come here and we ventilate them. Lastly,
that I want to be saying, Baba Nguti. I'm asking, that is my clarion call. That tell Premier Mandla Ndhlovu to treat us as his people, all of us, one. Tell Premier Mandla Ndhlovu that he must be merciless to people who are thieves and thugs, in particular in his department, in his government or his cabinet. Tell Premier Mandla Ndhlovu that please let those who are, if there are people who have wronged, whether they are close to him or not close to him, let people face the rule of the law. And tell Mandla Ndhlovu, Premier Mandla Ndhlovu, that please, tribalism does not pay. People today, why you saw people voting MK? It's because people feel that they're being treated as just condoms. People feel that they're not acknowledged. People feel and ask themselves, till when are they going to serve this punishment for a crime that they've never committed? These people of Mpumalanga need a leader that will say, we are sorry. These people of Mpumalanga province need a leader that will say, please, we love you. We heard your cries. And we are not fooling you. We are not here for rhetorics or long empty speeches. We are going to see to it that things must be done and will be seen to be done. Nothing else. You know, the pain of Mpumalanga province is unbearable. And lastly, tell the media, all media houses of Mpumalanga province. Let me be honest. 90%, you know, I cried when along the way when I was driving to your show. I cried. I said, what type of a man is this majestic Caesar Samayend? I cried because 90% of media houses in Mpumalanga province, they are in the pay pockets of politicians. If we talk about Izzy Machaba, I've engaged all media houses. They told me, Asifunuguba Enkingeni. It hurts me that we so much celebrate Babita Deokoran, the CFO of Tembisa Hospital. It's good and I support that. But what pains me, we celebrate that at the expense of people like Izzy Machaba. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And then another dangerous narrative, you please tell the media. The media has created a dangerous narrative that lives of people of Gauteng province, it's more important and more valuable than lives of the people of Mpumalanga. Let me tell you something.
Or other provinces.
Yes, yes. They don't report. You know that Zamazamas in this area are killing people of Pilgrim Rest and Leroro around Potos. But you never hear about that. Tell me, why are you not the Nkomazi municipality? The issue of Nkomazi, some were not paid and some were paid half salaries. That why is that not in the public domain? Because not only they are afraid to tell the truth, it's because by a hola, by Uma pockets. You understand? When you give them stories, what they do, they bargain. Right now, there is serious allegation of security companies of 1 billion rents. You saw it and all like. Why there is no smoke without fire? You understand? And we know, because of that story, I know comrades were killed for that. You understand? There are comrades that have been killed. A lot of things. I can tell you, my brother, bring you names. There are comrades from Bushbuckridge 3 that were killed in the stadium rally. That was not. They said, let's agree, send this message. Media is the ear, or media houses are the ears and eyes of the public. of the general populace, number 10. Number 11 and 12, people must know that media is the mirror that help us to introspect ourselves. It's through media that we're able to do introspection. But the media is not there. The media is afraid to tell people that in Manyeveli there's no water. The media is afraid to tell the country that as much as it's in Gauteng, if there is no water in Gauteng, just for 30 seconds, it's already in the news. Mara, you go to what's the Bejigufa, there is no water. You go to Nkomazi. In Nkomazi, there's no a piece, such a small piece of tar road. In fact, literally speaking, in Nkomazi, we're no longer talking about potholes. We're talking about swimming pools on the road. People subjected to dirty water. In fact, things are upside down. But the world has been given a wrong information that all is well. And Mpumalanga is a place of the rising sun. There is nothing there. Mpumalanga is a hell to live in, whether you like it or not. You get killed, you don't get in the media. You get wrongfully arrested, don't get into media. Your house get bombasted, you don't get to media. In fact, they double the yoke for doing things, for doing the right thing. Man, a time has come that people of Mpumalanga, and another thing, let's agree, let's debunk this terrible myth of blind loyalty. In closing, let me tell you something, Baba. Baba, let me tell you something. Tell the people of Mpumalanga I say this. His Excellency Pompie Ledwaba says, we are a victim of our own choices. We are victims of our own decisions. We are what we are today because of the people that we elected in the offices of power and authority. This majority of them, not all of them, but 90%, 90% of thugs that are claiming to be leaders were elected into the offices of power and authority by the very people. Time has come to debunk the myth that ANC, this and that. No. Time has come. If somebody is not qualified, and if we find that the ANC of today in Mpumalanga has outlived itself, has liberated us, it's time to change it. Let it be so. We cannot die because of Lutuna. We don't eat history. We don't eat our forefathers. We don't eat this thing. Life today, it's about butter and bread for every people, not butter and bread for the connected few. You understand? Even yourself as a journalist, you need butter and bread. Your kids, your family. If high profile, these so-called politicians, their wives are managed, their kids are managed, even their grandchildren. Why is it supposed to be different with Sizwe Samayende? You understand? We deserve a decent, better, excellent life, all of us. And this country has got the capacity to do that. The only thing, this country in particular, Mpumalanga province, is in the wrong hands. And let me send a message to President Cyril Ramaphosa. President Cyril Ramaphosa, the state president of the Republic of South Africa, please don't protect the wrongdoings of Mpumalanga province. President, I heard you in the January statement, you said Mpumalanga is one of the best. It is not true. We are running this province because of 50+1. During the days of His Excellency, the former president, we used to win elections by 90%. You understand? It was in Tlanta. which is running the province. We were just about to have a coalition government.
Yeah, for sure.
So yes, we were fortunate. So time has come that you must tell let's send a message. President Cyril Ramaphosa, this one, let me be honest, send this to the president. The problem, another problem that is killing the country is the selective justice by President Matamela Ramaphosa. I fought for him. I voted for him. I propagated and encouraged people to vote for Cyril Ramaphosa. But today I'm disappointed with President Matamela Ramaphosa. Precisely of his selective justice, selective judgment. Let him stop protecting the wrongs of the people of Mpumalanga. Let President Cyril Ramaphosa learn one thing. He must never, as he did, let him stop imposing leadership of the province. Because we have seen that in Witbendem, leaders were imposed. He was there on full force. Let President Cyril Ramaphosa allow us to enjoy our democracy by electing the right people, not those who are in the good hands and favored by Cyril Ramaphosa. Okay. Tell President Cyril Ramaphosa, the President of the Republic of South Africa, enough is enough. I thank you.
Yeah, no, you've said a mouthful, and you're leaving us with a challenge of giving a right of reply to to many people you've mentioned here, which we'll try definitely to do that, for people to respond for themselves. Yoni Hawu, the Premier himself, and other people.
But the people of Mpumalanga should never be allowed to die in silence.
Yeah, that is the challenge you've left us with. And another challenge, I think, for the first time, the language has been a bit strong. So if people hear certain words, no, we are not censoring you, but certain words we're going to have to. Some people will get offended. It's the truth. No, absolutely. There are some words that other people may find offensive.
I did not.
No, you didn't insult anyone. You said things as they should be said.
Absolutely. Let's agree.
But I was just saying.
Let's dwell on something just in a second.
Yeah.
You know, people don't understand. Office bearers or the leadership. Let me be honest with you. I regard Premier Mandla Ndhlovu as an employee of the electorate. He was put in that office or any other MEC because of my vote. In fact, all political leaders, including the Premier, is responsible to us as people. Therefore, I am saying by virtue of being an electorate, by virtue of having elected him into the premiership office, he must account. I must ask him, or we must ask him questions. He must give us answers. No victimization and nothing else.
Okay. No, on that note, thanks a lot. Looking forward to have another discussion with you. Outstanding issues. You've promised us a lot of evidence, concrete evidence to take the discussion forward.
The British Broadcasting Corporation has got an has got an interest, the BBC, of interviewing me. But with all respect, with your magnificent media house, before next month, before giving them the opportunity, I wish to be here before I go to the BBC.
Oh, thanks for giving us the first preference. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.